Perhaps I should feel some twinge of guilt at all I have done, but I've had little time for scruples. It was once an honor to be entombed within these ancient catacombs, but centuries have passed, and now only the brave or foolhardy walk these tunnels. Perhaps I'm the last living soul here, although I'm far from alone. This is not my story, although I am the architect of what transpires. A conspirator in the ruination that threatens the heretic kingdoms, and the most unlikely of alliances that might yet save us all. And mas inca sera dilbarana.
Thou summons me. What is thy pact?
I seek only that we shall both survive.
Thou hast a liar's tongue, and cannot be trusted.
I do not ask you to trust me, nor should you. I would betray you without hesitation, if I deemed it necessary. But we are fortunate, you and I. We have the same enemies. Our only hope lies in partnership, which is precisely why I have summoned you here, demon. You were summoned without a pact, so whichever soul you devour will now bind you to a path beyond anyone's control. Choose wisely, demon. Tolucc. They called him the Bandit King, a warrior and a mercenary. He led the Guild of Steel in Tolucc. Sadly for Tolucc, he trusted his own son a little more than he could afford. Some called him a barbarian, but few lived who did so. Choose Tolucc if you wish the might and fortitude of a great warrior.
My own son a traitor. Nemec, I shall have my vengeance.
I require thy soul. Thou hast no further need of it. That soul is mine now.
The agony is unbearable! Curse you, demon!
Very well, the die is cast.
I live?
In a sense, you and the demon are one now. In truth, I do not know what that will mean.
Thy soul is mine to command.
You overrate your powers, demon, and underestimate Tolucc's. Your fate and his are now bound together, as is my own. Now make haste to the city of Thol that lies above this crypt. A cenotaph can transport you there. Our fates are bound together, demon. Either we shall find a way to survive together, or we shall both surely perish.
Thou threatens me?
No. Something far more dangerous than I threatens us all. Join me in the Tholian Arcanum as soon as you can. We have much to discuss.
What have you done to me, demon?
Thou art returned from death to do my will.
No demon commands me.
Thou art mistaken.
Feel that? Leave it to me. I'll finish what you started.
This must be the cenotaph the Hooded Man spoke of. Its power breaches shadow. There is much I might do here. This cenotaph is erected upon the graves of many dead mortals. It shall be easy to gate-weave back to this place, should I find another such monument. And I sense a gate here already. The Hooded Man's work, mayhap. It must be the way out he mentioned.
This challenge needs a stronger warrior.
Tell me of this place.
Do not order me, demon. You're in my town now, Thole, the city of outcasts. We must find my son. I have unfinished business with Nemec.
I shall show thee true power!
Perched atop an ancient stone plateau, amidst the red sands of the Outlands, lies the city of Thole. Centuries ago, it was a major garrison for the Gerulian Empire, and there may even have been a settlement prior to this era. These days, Thole is a city of thieves and outcasts. Fugitives of all kinds come here to avoid complications in neighboring nations. Not everyone in Thole has a price upon his head, but no one who dwells here is innocent. The Guild of Steel like to call themselves mercenaries, protecting the few caravans that ply their trade across the desert. Yet those that do not pay for their protection find the Guild equally adept at brigandage. The Guild of Silk call themselves merchants and do indeed sell all manner of goods and trinkets, though it is best not to ask them from whence they came. A vast stone gate is all that remains of the barbican that once defended these walls. Now, it guards the city of Thole once more from the horde of nomads that besiege it. For 3 years, I have been hiding here amid the detritus of the heretic kingdoms. But it is only a matter of time before my former allies locate me. And I am running out of places to hide.
do not need yours or anyone else's permission to return to my city, Duke. Dead? What can I say? I got better.
You should not have come back. Nemec commands the Guild of Steel now.
My son and I have much to discuss.
Do not bring fighting onto my streets, or there will be consequences. It is bad enough that we are besieged without civil war breaking out inside the walls.
We're under attack?
Aye. Nomads under the command of some Taimurian exile. But the city has stood for centuries, and it will not fall under my watch. I'll be keeping an eye on you, Kellig.
What an honor.
Te Ma al-Ortas.
I'm coming, Nemec. Papa's home.
Instead of hanging around here, why don't you go speak to Arasad?
Weapons, armor, supplies, the best prices, unbeatable quality.
Save your patter for the wayfarers, Morphew.
Kellig, always a pleasure. What can I get you today?
You know anything useful, Morphew?
Tell you what, you scratch my back, I scratch yours. I need to collect the weekly tariffs from Wani and Rabarth and Tesed, only they're never keen to pay up. Someone like you could compel their compliance rather well, don't you think? If you get the money, I'll tell you something useful. Weapons, armor, supplies, excellent prices, superb. Come back soon.
I'm here to collect the tariff for Morphew.
For pity's sake, again?
Hand it over or I'll take it from your cold, dead hands.
Don't hurt me. It's not worth me life. Just take it and leave.
Wise choice.
Your customers are always welcome.
I'm here to collect the tariff for Morphew.
Oh, is it time for that already? Very well, here you go.
Well, that was easier than I expected.
Be safe.
Morphew sent me to collect the tariff.
Ah, I had wondered about that. Please, give Morphew my regards.
Thanks, bootlicker.
Stay safe, traveler. You came back? Wonderful!
Here's the money. Quite enjoyed muscling it out of them.
You have my gratitude. So much easier than trying to negotiate with those jackals myself. You wanted information? I can tell you this. If you want to get into the Guild of Steel, Arashad can get you into the cellar. But beware, as the Guild has some vicious traps down there. You came back? Wonderful! You came back?
How's the siege affecting everyone?
Many fled before it began, but our guilds are kind of stuck here. It's not exactly a ghost town, but it's eerie seeing the old hostel abandoned. No one's been inside since, well, since I don't know when. Weapons, armor, come back soon.
Such a weak soul.
This one's mine. Leave him to me.
Show thyself, coward!
An Ishkai and a human skeleton. What happened here?
Art thou afraid to face me? What in hell? I shall show thee true power!
Weapons, armor, supplies, excellent prices,
What do you know of the skeletons in the old hostel?
This is the first I've heard of this. The other merchants had more to do with the hostel than I did, though. Weapons, armor, supplies,
Tell me about the Sura mercenary who came to town.
Don't know anything useful about that, I'm afraid. But I'll bet someone in town does. You came back? Always a pleasure.
Surely, my friend, you tire of trawling the city streets in search of someone to buy your unwanted goods. Look no further. I will buy quality goods from you at prices that are...
Tell me what you know about the bodies in the old hostel.
There are dead bodies in that place. Honestly, you'd think someone from the guild would have noticed. I suppose the building has been abandoned for a while now. Haven't seen anyone go inside since the siege started. Ah, what do you have for me?
Tell me about the Sura mercenary who came to town.
I remember seeing the Sura mercenary talking to Faeruz before he left. And Faeruz looked mighty pleased about it too. Please, if you speak to Faeruz, don't mention I said anything. I want nothing to do with the Sura, now or ever. Bring your unwanted... Think of me when you have goods you do not. Bring your unwanted goods to me. I'll... Always good to see you, friend.
Tell me what you know about the bodies in the old hostel.
No idea what happened at the hostel. I used to deliver food there, back before the siege. But I haven't been inside since that Sura warrior went there. I don't think anyone has. Always good to see you, friend.
Tell me about the Sura mercenary who came to town.
He came through the gates, went to the hostel, and left. That's all I know, really. I was just glad to see him leave town, to be honest. Always good to see you, friend. Take care, friend.
Back so soon. Good, good.
Tell me what you know about the bodies in the old hostel.
I can only tell you about the hostel itself, I'm afraid. When your guild hired mercenaries from out of town, they'd stay there. I think Rabath had a deal with the owner at one point. He might know more. Welcome, welcome.
Tell me about the Sura mercenary who came to town.
I wasn't even in town when it happened. You'll have to ask elsewhere. Back so soon. You are always welcome here.
My weapons are the finest around, and unlike Morphew, I respect my patrons.
Tell me what you know about the bodies in the old hostel.
I don't know anything about that. Ask Rabat. He dealt with the owner. No,
Tell me about the Sura mercenary who came to town.
No, I don't know anything about that.
You didn't seem to try very hard. Perhaps you need some help remembering.
I said I don't know anything. Now, if you aren't buying anything, be on your way. Best weapons in the... Come back when you need more armaments.
Welcome, welcome.
Did Fairuz have dealings with the Sura?
I wouldn't put it past him, but I'm afraid I've no idea what happened that day. Back so soon. You are always welcome here.
Always good to see you, friend.
Did Fairuz have dealings with the Sura?
No doubt about it. That Sura definitely gave something to Fairuz before leaving town. But if he asks, you didn't hear that from me. Always good to see you, friend. Take care, friend. Ah, what do you have for me?
Did Fairuz have dealings with the Sura?
Other than seeing him talk to that one Sura mercenary that one time, I've no idea. Bring your unwanted... Think of me when you have goods you do not need.
These are dangerous times for one without sufficient protection. Come, sample my fine wares. I have the best prices on armor, I assure you.
Tell me about the Sura mercenary who came to town.
Can't tell you anything about the Sura, I'm afraid. I never get too close to them. When you've been a merchant for as long as I have, you learn when to keep your distance from their kind. Helms, mail, braces.
Did Fairuz have dealings with the Sura?
I don't really know what Fairuz gets up to, but he sure had a lot of silver on him that day the Sura was in town. You don't think... No, forget I asked. I don't want to know. Helms, mail, braces. Come back anytime.
No one beats me on price, friend.
You made a deal with the Sura. Tell me what it was or I'll beat it out of you.
Don't hurt me. I just arranged the messenger, I swear. Kench, the woman who ran the hostel, she asked me to get a message to the one-eyed Sura warrior. He paid me in silver for informing him. But I was only doing what Kench asked of me. You have my word. No one beats me on price, friend.
What did Kench want with the Sura?
She sold him out. The Ishkai, who was living there, betrayed him to save her own neck. You wouldn't know to look at her, but Kench brokered contracts for mercenaries all around the heretic kingdoms. Before she came to Thol, she hired the one-eyed Sura, but the job went sour. Her employer was slain, and the Sura was never paid. If there's one thing you don't do in the mercenary business, it's welsh on a debt to a Sura warrior. I guess she saw handing over the Ishkai as a way to wipe out her debts. No hand beats me on... Come back when you need more armor.
Tolucc, come out from whence thee hides. Thou hast misplaced thy trust in thy friend, Kench. She betrayed thee. Yet another letter. So, she didst not betray thee, and thou hast guarded her fallen remains since thy deaths. How touching. Come, spirit. Thy vigil has ended. Join me. That soul is mine now. A step closer to my final form.
I suppose it's good to have reinforcements.
I shall be glad of a puppet who understands the merits of attacking at a distance.
Was that a dig at me?
Perish the thought!
The Guild of Steel. My guild. But a dead man can't just walk through the front door.
You must leave. If the Duke saw us talking to you, he'd have our heads.
I should speak to Arashad. Arashad, you scoundrel. Has no one in your employ managed to kill you yet?
Khalik, you rabid dog, they said you were dead.
I was for a while, but you know how it is.
Faked your own death, eh? Didn't think you had it in you.
Some days, I surprise even myself.
Please, ask your questions.
Where is Nemec now? We have unfinished business.
He rarely leaves the Guild of Steel since seizing control from you. You must seek him there. But they will hardly let you in the front door.
Fine. What do you need me to get?
I didn't say anything.
Merchant, you think you're so clever. Just tell me what you need from the Guild of Steel and I'll get it for you.
What do you need? Please, ask your question.
Do you have any need for my skills?
I am in need of some assistance, actually. I've lost a few merchants to aphotic spider attacks at night. Nasty creatures. And recently hiding in every shadow, it seems. You have questions?
How fares your guild these days, Arishad?
Alas, 'tis a bad time to be a Tholian merchant. The city is surrounded by a horde of nomads, intent on sacking it. Terrible things lurk in the shadows of the catacombs. On the other hand, Guild of Silk profits are up this quarter. Nothing like a siege to drive up the price of food, huh? Please, ask your questions. You have questions?
How long till Thol falls for want of food?
Hard to say, really. Possibly a year? If a sandstorm forces the nomads to retreat, even longer. Not to mention that the Intendant is an excellent gate weaver. He may have means to help us beyond even this. It's an inconvenience. But there are bigger dangers within the walls than without. What do you need?
How is the Duke faring as Intendant?
Better than I would like. He overthrew my father as Intendant. I had no love for my father, but he was bloodkin, you know? I do not trust the Duke. And not just because he's in the Order of the Veil. Everyone knows the Order is just the thin veneer of respectability the Inquisition uses to cloak its institutional corruption. Thol would be better off without him.
On that, we are of one mind, Arishad.
Please, ask your questions.
Aphotic spiders can hardly be a threat to me. What will you give me for slaying them?
I can pay you 50 for 10 spider carcasses. Search inside the burial grounds, southwest of the market. They seem to be infesting there in great numbers.
What do you need from my guild house?
When he defeated my father and became Intendant, Darmok also took something. A sword. A family heirloom, you might say. It was given to my father by my grandfather, and to him by his father before him. Darmok gave it to the mercenaries as a gift, to secure his alliance with them. But the sword is mine, by right of birth, and I want it back. Take this key. It will open the cellar to the Guild of Steel. The sword will be down there somewhere, I'm certain. Far too valuable as a bargaining chip for anyone to be wielding it. Find the sword and bring it back to me. I will pay you 200 in return. You will know it by the engraved pattern of 2 entwined serpents on the hilt and blade.
Returning your sword is a fair price for getting me back into my guild. Consider it done.
What do you need?
Follow this path and continue on up the stairs and you'll find Arishad.
pathetic! I shall handle this myself.
Leave it to me. I'll finish what you started. Anyone seen a key lying around the place? Or a lever?
no questions. I shall tell thee no lies. Dost thou accept this pact?
Aye.
Excellent. The first pact is made. Take this and pour it upon the boxes outside the Guild of Steel. I sense your thoughts. It is the supplies for the Guild of Steel. But thou hast already thought of punishing these traitors. Dost thou accept this pact?
Aye.
Excellent. The second pact is made. Fare thee well, cousin.
Leave it to me. I'll finish what you started. I told them not to leave it outside the guild house, but they never listen.
It is done. Thou completed thy pact. Fare thee well, cousin.
To me. I'll finish what you started. Anyone seen a key lying around the place? Or a lever?
Thou shalt face me now.
sealed the cellar. The only way out is upstairs. Traitors! Death awaits you!
What do you need?
10 dead spiders. I counted them twice.
A deal is a deal. 30 coins are yours.
That's 50.
Of course 50, that's what I said. Of course, the infestation will continue as long as the spiders can reach Tolucc. I wonder if they could be prevented from reaching the burial ground somehow. How can I help?
What will you give me for stopping the spiders reaching the burial ground?
Does another 50 sound fair?
No, but 100 does.
You strike a hard bargain, but very well. I've heard there's a statue near where the spiders are appearing. That would seem to be a sensible place to start. What do you need?
Here, the sword you wanted.
Can it be? You have no idea what this means to me. Please. You must accept this purse of coins with my thanks.
200 was the price we agreed.
Of course, of course. How can I help?
Do you know Kench?
She used to run the hostel, didn't she? Honestly, outside the Guild of Silk, my knowledge of the people of Tolucc gets a little sketchy. How can I help?